the creation. Go ahead.
Verse 3. With those beauty, if they bring delight, took them to be gods. Let them know how much better the Lord of them is.
So if you think that this is a God because of his beauty and his glorious and his majesty, then you should know how much more better is the creator, the person that created those things. Go ahead,
God. Much better is the Lord of them it is. It says, for the first author of beauty have created them.
The first author of beauty. Okay, go ahead.
Have created them.
Read to 10.
God. But if they were astonished at their power and virtue, let them understand by them how much magnified, how much mightier he is that made them. Verse 5. For by the greatness and beauty of the creatures, proportionally the maker of them is seen. It says, but ye for this they are the less to be blamed. I mean, you should blame the Lord for doing all these magnificent things and mighty things. It says, for they peradventure err, seeking Yahweh, and desires to find them. Verse 7. For being conversant in his work.
Like the so-called white man, conversing in the works of the Lord. Ooh, let's look out how this is made. Look how, what's that? And get a whole Wisdom of Solomon 9 and 6. But go ahead. Matter of fact, get that real quick. Because being conversing in the works of the Lord. All right? Well, this creature here and evolved from this, and you know, like, no, bro. You conversing in the works of the Lord, and you giving worshiping them and reverencing them. But wait a minute, how much better is the first author of beauty? How much better is the creator of those things? What do 9 and 6 say?
Wisdom of Solomon 9 verse 6. For though a man be never so perfect among the children of men, yet if by wisdom the children. For though a man be never so perfect among the children of men, yet if any wisdom be not with him, he shall be nothing regarded. Thou hast chosen me to be a king of thy people.
Well, that's not what I wanted. I want 16, but that was good 16. Too. Read that over.
Okay. Wisdom of Solomon.
Read 6 again and then jump to 16.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, verse 6. For though a man be never so perfect among the children of men.
Did it say never? Yeah. Never so perfect.
Okay, never so perfect among the children of men, yet if thy wisdom be not found, wisdom be not with him.
Yeah, if he don't have wisdom, I mean, if he don't have the proper understanding of the Holy Scriptures,
okay.
No matter what office or what rank or status he in, if he ain't got this understanding, go ahead.
He shall be nothing regarded.
He shall be nothing regarded. Now jump to 16. Because that goes back, if you can, no matter how well you conversing in the works of the Lord, oh yeah, condensation and precipitation and all that, you know, you understand all that shit, all right? The building blocks of life, the atoms and matter and you understand all that shit.
Protons and neutrons and ions.
Yeah.
Covalent bonds.
Yeah.
You ain't got the wisdom of the Lord. You ain't got the fear of the Lord. We are not at the beginning of wisdom. You have nothing. All right. Wisdom Solomon 16. What?
Yep. Just 16. 9 and 16.
Oh, 9 is chapter 9 verse 16.
Yeah, you already there. Just jump down.
Verse 16. Oh, okay. Come on. Wisdom Solomon 9 and 16. It says, and hardly guess aright.
Yeah, hardly do we guess aright. Go ahead.
And hardly do we guess aright all things. And hardly do we guess aright at things that are upon the earth.
That are things that are upon the earth. When you read 2nd Ezra 4, right? The angel Uriel came to him and said, if I can, matter of fact, we'll hold that. Just go ahead, read what you got.
God. And hardly do we guess aright off at things that are upon the earth, and with honor do we find the things that are before us.
You say with honor?
Labor,
labor.
And with labor.
Read that part over.
It says, hardly do we guess aright at things that are upon the earth.
Yeah, so you can guess aright sometimes, but not all the time. Matter of fact, hardly. Scripture says, hardly do we guess aright. Go ahead, brother.
God. It says, with labor do we find the things that are before us. But the things that are in the heaven, who have searched out.
Yeah, it says, with labor do we find out the things that are before us. Now, when you go into Sirach, the 18th chapter, it says the ground of those things cannot be found out. And that word ground means the reason why. When you go into some of the things you see before you, like, why did the Lord make it like that? Now, of course, like when you look at the woodpecker, the Lord got a woodpecker, which tongue goes down his neck, behind his back, up and around his head, and out of his nostril or down his mouth, something, and then it comes out 10 inches out of his mouth with a barbed at the tip, with a sticky secretion. Now you see, and I'm not even done explaining the woodpecker. Now you see all of that. Now you say, now why does his tongue go all the way? We don't know. Scripture says the ground of the...
Hey, you don't know. Hey, I would think it would be to absorb some of the shock from the woodpecker hitting the tree. You know, to have that soft tissue in there. You know, that's my opinion. You know? I don't know why. Hey, the Lord probably just make it like that. You know? Hey, but you know, it's for a reason. You know? You know, that's man, I was watching it, man. Hey, man, the Lord cold, man. The Lord cold. Hey, that's why he not to be fucked with, man. Hey, the Lord cold, man. You know.
This is I got something. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 4. I started talking. It says, and the angel that was sent unto me, whose name was Uriel, gave me an answer and said, thy heart have gone too far in this world, and thinkest thou to comprehend the way of the Most High? Then you got a nigga, and I say nigga, and I mean that disrespectfully. You have a nigga that went out, been living in the world, been having a worldly life his whole life, and then when he don't understand the work of the Lord, he mad. Like you had the one guy come to Cap. I can't understand a God that let babies die. Nigga, your life don't win, like the scripture said. It says, thy heart have gone too far in this world, and thinkest thou to comprehend the way of the Most High? Then said I, yeah, my Lord. And he answered me and said, I am sent to show thee 3 ways, and to set forth 3 similitudes before thee. Whereof if thou canst declare me one, I will show thee also the way that thou desirest to see. And I shall show thee from whence the wicked heart cometh. And I said, tell on, my Lord. Then said he unto me, go thy way, weigh me the weight of the fire, or measure me the blast of the wind, or call me again the day that is past. Then answered I and said, what man is able to do that thou shouldest ask such things of me? And he said unto me, if I should ask thee how great dwellings are in the midst of the sea, or how many springs are in the beginning of the deep, or how many springs are above the firmament, or which are the outgoings of paradise, peradventure thou wouldest say unto me, I never went down into the deep, nor as yet into hell. Neither did I ever climb up into heaven. So the angel Uriel asking him questions, and he telling him, oh, if I ask you this, you would say this, or you would say that, right? It says, nevertheless, now have I asked thee, but of only the fire and wind, and of the day wherethrough thou hast passed, and of things from which thou canst not be separated. And yet canst thou give me no answer of them. Because why? We deal with fire, we deal with wind, we deal with the day that was past, we deal with yesterday. These are all things that we deal with on the daily, on the regular. But we still don't have the answer for these things, man. It says, the next verse. He said, moreover unto me, thine own things and such as are grown up with thee, canst thou not know? How should thy vessel then be able to comprehend the way of the highest, and the world being now outwardly corrupted, to understand the corruption that is evident in my sight? So you got to understand that the things that the scripture, it's a scripture that says, the things that has been revealed to you, think upon with reverence. You know, like that's enough, man. All right, like the Lord have given all these missing books and all the book of Adam and Eve and the book of Joshua. Look,
the Dead Sea Scrolls.
You know, now you know, we got what we need, man. Okay, like the scripture speaks about the prophet Jeremy. Okay, Jeremy may have wrote a book. The scripture speaks about many prophets that don't have books, man. And if they wrote book, hey, when the time comes in the kingdom of heaven, They gonna be revealed to us, man. Anyway, you got something else?
Sorry.
Yeah, go back.
What was that?
13, you was at like 7 and 8, and then jump back to 14 after you done, if you read down to like 10.
13.
8.
Yeah, that'll be it. Okay. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 8. It says, howbeit neither are they to be parted, for if they
Pardoned?
pardon.
Yeah. So, yeah, go ahead. That goes back to that Romans, thou art inexcusable, man. So now you ain't got no excuse. Go ahead. Matter of fact, read up on that. Kind of
Verse 6.
No, that was 7 you was reading, or that was
8.
in the 7?
Verse 8.
Read 7 again.
It says, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 7. It says, for being conversant in his works, they search him diligently and believe their sight, because the things are beautiful that they are seen. It says, howbeit, neither are they to be parted. For if they are able to know so much that they could aim in the world, how did they not sooner find out the Lord thereof?
Yeah, so you know all these wonderful works, and you can explain it. Oh yeah, this is so many light years away. Gases is just burning, and you know all these things, but you don't know the Lord. You don't know the man that created it. Go ahead.
It says, but miserable are they, and the dead things is their hope, who call them gods, which are the works of men's hands.
Yeah, that's back into them idols, man. Dead things are their hope, right? Go ahead.
Gold and silver to show
Money, that's money too. But then a lot of these idols would be made out of gold and silver.
golden calf,
Yeah, the golden calf, yeah. The what's that? The silversmiths and axe.
and wood. Dagon. You know, Dagon was upon the stump. It says, okay, verse 10. But miserable are they, and in dead things is their hope, who call them gods, which are the works of man's hands, gold and silver, to show art in.
Yeah, because it'd be beautiful. It'd be carved and engraved. It might look exactly like whatever image it's trying to be. It might be a bull. You got the muscles and the tendons and everything popping out.
In the resemblance of beasts,
See the resemblance of beasts?
or a stone good for nothing, the work of an ancient hand. All right, that's why when you in the book of Exodus, when you create an altar of the Lord, he said it's not to be hewed. All right, whenever you create an altar of the Lord, it's not to be hewed. That means it's not to be cut or fashioned in any kind of way.
Yeah,
then
the
it becomes
stone.
defiled.
The stone is not to be used. Yep.
Con.
Or it's not to be steps. It's not to be steps leading up and you walk up above it.
Yeah, the Lord referred to it as an altar. So what you got in these churches is these hewed steps, usually concrete, you know, put it over and you stepping up to an altar. You know, that's going off. They obviously didn't read Exodus.
Jump to back where you was at 14, 11.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 11. It says, therefore, even upon the idols of the Gentiles shall there be a visitation.
You'll be mad as hell if somebody was stealing your credit, man. Go ahead.
Shall there be a visitation, because in the creature of Yahweh, they are become an abomination and stumbling blocks to the souls of men and a snare to the feet of the unwise.
Yep.
For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication.
See, the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication. All this shit lead back to idol worship, man. Damn near any and every sin can go back to, matter of fact, at the very beginning, Adam and Eve, man. It all boils down to that fruit that she bit, that forbidden fruit, that forbidden doctrine. It was idol worship, man. That's all it was. It was idol. In a nutshell, it was idol worship, man. Not reverencing the Lord. Okay? You got something? Or?
Yeah, I got something.
Okay.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 1. I started verse 1 through 4. It says, and Yahweh spake all these things And what all these words saying, I am the Lord thine God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any engraven image, or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth.
Yeah.
So that's a commandment, man. You know, and it said the beginning of what did it say? It said verse 12, Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 12. It says, for the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication. Like the brother Hosea, when it said portals, you know, whoring in the physical, in the flesh, is you know, basically cheating on your spouse. For a woman, it's like cheating on a married, popping a married woman in the flesh. But spiritual fornication is doing the same thing, but spiritually. And who are we connected to spiritually? Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. It says, verse 11, these even are upon the idols of Gentiles shall the visitation, because the creature, I was at 12, Shlaki. For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them, the corruption of life.
The corruption of life, man. Go ahead.
The corruption of life, for neither were they from the beginning, neither shall they be forever.
That's why that's why I say it's gonna be a visitation upon them, man. Cause they not supposed to be here, man. Like I'm gonna use a cartoon analogy, right? We watched Dragon Ball Super. In the early episode, this guy basically tried to become his own god. And he tried to create a universe where he was the god and everything was supposed to worship him. So they called them, the character was supposed to represent the Most High. They called the Most High down there, and the Most High came down there and he was like, wait a minute, these things shouldn't be. And he snapped his finger and that shit was destroyed. Because everything that's not supposed to be, it's gonna be a visitation upon those things. The scripture just said that. These things, read that over.
Shalaki, I got it excited. It says, for neither were they from the corruption of life. It said, for the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them, the corruption of life.
Yeah, but I want you was right. For neither was they here from the beginning.
What was that?
I don't know. You was just saying it.
No, I was saying I was gonna say
No, it was in the scripture.
Visitation. Oh, you mean Exodus?
No, it said for neither was they here from the beginning. Oh, it's over here?
14 and 12.
13.
God, for neither were they here from the beginning.
That's why the scripture says the gods of the nations are idols, but the Lord made the heavens. The Lord was here from the beginning.
Oh yeah, come.
You know, neither was they here from the beginning. Go ahead.
Verse 13. For neither were they from the beginning, neither shall they be forever.
And neither shall they be forever. Go ahead.
For by the vain glory of men, they entered into the world.
You can stop on that. You can get what you had if you had something.
Because these idols shall be visited, all right? Jeremiah 50, verse 1 and 2. It says, the word of the Lord spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. And that's today, the land of the Chaldeans is here in America, in the land of Babylon, all right? And we are coming in the same speed as Jeremiah, because why we're speaking the same words that Jeremiah spoke, because in the beginning it said the word of the Lord spake against Babylon, all right? Verse 2, declare ye among the nations and publish and set up a standard. Publish and conceal not.
That's what we doing. The standard is the Bible, okay? And we telling you what it says.
God. It says, say Babylon is taken and Baal is confounded. Merodach is broken into pieces. Her idols are confounded. Her images are broken in pieces.
Yeah.
All right? For out of the north country.
Because first of all, before it happens physically, it's happening spiritually.
Yeah,
when you read what's that 1 Thessalonians 2, when it says it shall be consumed with the spirit of his mouth.
Oh yeah.
All right, what's that? That's with these words. That's thus saith the Lord first. Then it says the brightness of his coming.
That's the spirit. You said that in the book of Hosea. He said, I hewed them down by the words of my prophets.
Yeah.
Hew means to cut. What does it mean to cut somebody down? It means to destroy them, right? To continue.